Hey, Greg, move your camera over to one side just a little bit. I don't know why my screen... The other way. A little bit more. Okay, down a little bit.
Now Greg's cut off half on my screen. Now I can just see one of Greg's eyes.
I can see one of Greg's eyes.
Is that a compromised position?
Wait a minute. You know what I should do? Maybe
what's going on? You should change your window, Dad.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, there you go. All right, now I see Greg. Okay, good.
Why am I bending around backwards so you can... Okay, here we go.
Praise the Lord. 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 We'll all stay free.
So Trump.
Okay, all right, let's do that.
Let's do Trump. I don't know. What's going on?
Well,
we got to earn the Trump dog.
You know what?
Wait. First of all,
yeah.
We need to introduce ourselves. We never do this.
Okay.
And so no one knows who's talking.
Okay, you say your name first, Tim.
My name is Tim. Well, do we need to do an intro or something like that, or what should we
come
do?
on.
Well,
It's
tell them
TrumpDad.
to go listen to the first
Yeah,
podcast.
go listen to the
Just
first
for a minute.
Tell them to go listen to the first podcast. Exactly. Who do they think we are?
We introduced ourselves then.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh no,
Yeah,
Greg
we had
did.
a good
Greg
one.
wrote a
Listen to episode 1.
Okay.
Come on.
episode 1.
Have you read about
did a
us
nice
in
scripted
Politico
introduction.
magazine?
There you go.
Website. And you were like interested.
It's the equivalent. It's the internet equivalent of a magazine.
Yeah. Listen to episode
I
1.
have to say. Yeah.
I'm Greg.
Well,
That's Tim. And
this is
I'm
Tim.
Dad.
I think you can tell who TrumpDad is.
I just got some comments. People were hard to know. People didn't
You
know
got
who was
comments?
talking. Just from friends.
Oh,
who listened to
vocal
it.
comments.
They're like,
You
Yes,
had a friend
vocal
who
comments.
was very interested and gave us a bunch of comments and questions, and we didn't address
Yeah.
any of that stuff.
Nope,
I don't.
not at all.
I think we should be more of a natural. We should be more of
I
a
agree.
flowing, fun conversation. And I think
I
the
agree.
part. I think that our first 2 episodes were too focused on trying to hammer down the issues, and it's one, not fun to
Yeah.
listen to. It's boring, and 2, I'm not that good. I don't know what I'm talking about. So
no.
yeah.
Hey, well,
Topics.
listen, I've got an update
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
This is what we want.
on the subject that I brought up
Yeah.
on our
Okay.
last episode
Okay.
about
Updates.
that affair, supposedly affair of
Oh,
Trump
there's lots of updates for that.
with the whatever her name was
Yeah. What is her name?
some porn star, some Danielle,
Stormy Winters or something. I don't know.
Stormy something, yeah. That
Stormy.
I guess
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy
Stormy
Daniels.
Daniels. I guess Trump won the lawsuit,
Oh, Trump wins.
and
You heard it here
yeah,
on Trump.
and
on
then
Trump.
and then another thing too was that, remember I was wondering that I said that he didn't say, well, I didn't have sex with that woman.
Yeah.
Well, he denies it. He says no,
Oh.
that's not true.
Okay.
He did not have. Trump has specifically denied it.
Yes.
When has Trump said that? Trump, when?
I just read it. I just read it
I want to
yesterday.
hear the quotes. I want to hear the quotes from Donald Trump saying
you know
he did not have
who
sex
was
with her.
talking about it was the press secretary. What's her name?
Oh yeah.
The Huckabee's daughter.
So Trump has
I thought
has Trump
she
said
said-
from his mouth.
And-
wait,
and
wait,
she
wait, wait.
said
Has
that
Trump said
Trump.
from
She
his
said
mouth.
that Trump has vehemently denies having a relationship with that woman.
Okay. So, Dad, he didn't win the lawsuit. So she's doing some shady political maneuvers and not political, shady legal maneuvers to kind of, because the way they structured it, evidently the lawyer is not very good. Michael Cohen, Trump's lawyer, isn't that great, and the contract has some holes in it. And so they're kind of messing with it, but they're really just trying to get more money out of them. Or
Okay, hold on, Tim.
it's not
Hold on. Wait a second. What is this I'm reading? Trump upset with Sanders over Stormy Daniels' response.
Let's not read headlines from the internet.
But I heard that other.
Those are the most.
I heard
vacuous
that
statements.
other. I heard that he was somehow mad at whatever she said. That's all I heard.
I don't know about that.
Who said?
Trump was mad at something that Sanders said, that Sarah Huckabee Sanders said.
I know.
About how the way that she handled. Maybe that's from CNN. And
are you surprised, Greg? Are you surprised that Trump was angry at someone on his?
Well, what did she say? I don't know. What she said.
The list,
I shouldn't take up.
like,
I shouldn't talk about.
I was hearing statistics of the number of people who have left the White House already, and it is like leaps and bounds ahead of any other president of just like the number of people leaving the White House.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
There
like
has been a lot
factoring that there's hardly anyone like they haven't filled all the positions in the first place. It's like
Oh, but
I don't know.
Trump said
Yeah.
that there's hundreds of people that want the jobs. He just
Trump said, okay.
He's just having
All right.
a
Trump
hard
said that,
time,
okay.
right,
Greg?
interviewing them all.
Right,
I feel like
right.
Trump is the guy we should
I'm
listen
sure
to
that's
for
the
this
issue.
info. Trump is the guy who's going to bring
I'm
us
sure-
the straight dope on this. Like, if
Why
anyone's
would
going to
he-
shoot straight, it's going to be Trump.
Oh yeah, Trump to like never manipulate non-relevant facts to make it look like.
Anyway, I don't have any
So
idea where
basically-
that's going.
So right
but
now,
I just thought it was interesting.
the word is right now that is not true. He did not have sex with Stormy Daniels. That's what he's saying. He's denying that, and he won the lawsuit.
Trump, like, will not like. I don't think that Trump will ever say directly that he has never had sex with Stormy.
Oh,
Like,
he's
with
never
the porn
said
star.
the
He has not
direct
said that
words.
directly. He has not established the level where he would be actually lying. I think, like, he hasn't. I mean, that would be a lie, right? Like, if it turned out that he did, he hasn't lied in the way that like Clinton did,
Bill
right?
Clinton.
Because Clinton lied under oath.
Well,
Right,
he came
that's
on
what
to
the-
national TV and
Yeah, but
Said,
like
I-
if his press secretary denied the charges, that's not the president lying, like under in like a legal sense.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
They said
So-
Trump denied all these allegations. Okay.
Okay, but it's so clear he's done, and this is just legal maneuvering, Dad. This isn't like proofing one way or another. Like they have a non-disclosure agreement, and she's suing to try to get around it by
that's what
forcing
that's
it to be disclosed. Like it's like she's doing this to like manipulate. I mean, she's doing this to get more. Like this is like a good lawyer trying to get more money for his client, or you know what I mean, or more.
I guess
publicity.
130,000 wasn't enough.
Yes, like they're trying to get a play for more money or different negotiating and like or so she can tell the story or something like. This is just legal posturing.
But you know what
maneuvering.
the bigger question really is is it going to do the American people care and is it going to do anything to?
No, the question is, do you care, Dad? Because this is about Trump, Dad, not Trump America.
Well, I told you about how I feel about it, but
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised you brought
the
it
way
up
you
again,
feel about it
honestly.
is that it didn't happen. That's what you feel.
well, you know what? It
definitely happened.
It's tough to accuse somebody of something that you don't know, and then it could go either way, really. I mean, especially in today's environment of all this political heat, people are always bringing up. Seems like it seems to be the favorite charge of some kind of adultery or some kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
It always seems to be, and it we don't know if any of these things are ever true. Did that one? Who was that one sheriff? Arpaio? Moore. The guy.
Roy Moore, yeah.
Roy Moore. Did
Moore.
those things ever prove to be true?
Yeah, how are you going to prove that to be true, Dad?
Yeah.
You
What's the
can't.
standard? What is your standard of bar for that ever to be proven true? Like I would say that there is such a level of evidence, it's undeniable, and they're never going to unearth like camera footage of Roy Moore trying to have sex with a 12-year-old. Like you're never that doesn't exist.
If the things he wrote in this person's high school yearbook, if people online can say, look, can't you see that that's a fake signature, that's been faked, like then it's like, okay, well, we guess we have to leave it at that. Like I don't know. Some people say it's
I
fake.
guess what you need is a dress with some stains and a DNA test.
Yeah, right.
Gross. No, not even with Roy Moore. No, gross.
Yeah, I mean it's
I'm not
true.
gonna touch
No,
that.
I think you're right, Dad. That we have a very heated. It's like it's just like people who like hardcore Clinton people were like very like hardcore against believing the that whatever for the longest time. People like what's her name? What's her name? Who?
Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, Monica Lewinsky like suffered like a lot of like abuse from like Clinton people who just like just like I mean it's like it becomes very political, so then it's like
it is.
It's like a whole other.
So so with so much political crap going back and forth, it's hard to tell what's real.
I think you have to willful like.
Yeah,
I think that you kind of have to be a little.
I feel like some of those people.
You're giving the benefit of the doubt to Trump is like.
Well, of course, I'm TrumpDad.
But of course, you're playing your role. Okay.
You're playing your role. Okay, but like Trump is a notorious liar. Trump is like the longest history of lying and pulling lawsuits and doing stupid stuff. Like he has like Trump. That's like what Trump does.
Okay, hold on. Okay, you just said that. What do you have to say back?
I did say that.
Well, I mean,
he will not hesitate to lie.
That's a claim.
Benefits him. That is a claim.
You know what? That seems a little outrageous of a claim to say that he would always. You're saying insinuating that he would not hesitate to lie at any single moment.
Ooh. I maybe there are a couple moments that are impactful, but I would say that like publicly he has no fear of lying. Publicly, he has no fear of saying things that he knows to be untruthful.
Okay. Yeah. So no.
He has no hesitation there.
Yeah. No, I understand because a lot of times he kind of plays the media and plays the people and kind of goes along and I guess you could say it's lying. But
what are you thinking of, Dad, when you say that? Are you thinking of a specific time or a specific?
Well, like sometimes I know that he kind of says things that kind of are a little edgy, and people.
Are you thinking of something particular when you say that?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to recollect.
I think maybe what you're talking about is like what I would see as like impulsive, where like how Trump will be when he's talking, especially. He will kind of throw things out there. Like there's been several times he's gotten in trouble with the media when he's kind of thrown something out and they just
like when he said like everyone's going to have good insurance. It's going to be cheap. You're going to love it.
Yeah. And he had no clue what he's saying. He had no idea. He's just like, no, we're all have insurance. Like
when he said, no, we'll just take the guns away before due process.
Yeah. He had zero. Like he said that, and you know that he didn't think about that for 1 second before it exited his mouth. You know what I mean? Like he just said that, and he has no idea what he's talking about or how he would do that, or hasn't considered that opinion at all because he's just throwing it out there, and it may have merits, it may not have merits, but then the media hangs on this, and like it's like he just said something. I know he's a president. But like we have to say like he's Trump too, and he's just going to do that. You know what I mean? Like he's not lying per se. I would say like in those circumstances, he is just genuinely not a very thoughtful person. And
well, see, but that's your opinion. That's your opinion, and other people could see that there's actually maybe some genius in being able to manipulate and play the media, which hates him. And is always trying to find something wrong with him. He kind of has a way of kind of getting them to kind of cooperate with him in a way.
Yeah, and he's like right in there. He's like right in there. He's like perfectly designed to needle them. But I would argue they have a symbiotic relationship. I would say that him and the media does not hate him.
Oh, the media hates him.
Feed off each other.
Oh, come on, Tim. The media
elements of the media hate him. But they feed off of. Trump is part of that system. Trump is not like it's a symbiotic relationship. It is.
He owes his presidency to the fact that the media would publish anything he said at any time because it makes good ratings and it's.
Yeah, no, that's why he spent so little on his campaign.
Exactly,
because he
because of the media
able to work the media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This media who did not think he was going to be elected.
That is Trump's genius. Like he is just he's like the what do they call it in game theory? He's just like the madman.
But
method. Like just being like he's just all out and he doesn't hesitate and
But
he doesn't worry about making mistakes, and then just kind of.
But I wonder about like
Like-
how like where do you see him? Like how do you know where he stands on issues when he says things that seem to contradict himself? Like, do you know what Trump's like policy towards gun control is? Because I remember we had a conversation a while back where you were like, "There's no way that our guns are in jeopardy under this president. Like, that we're safe here." But he's made a couple of remarks that are like way worse than any Democrats have ever said about taking guns.
Sure. Or classic Democratic lines, actually, because he's a Democrat from the 80s.
That's true. He has been.
And so he's repeating stuff that he heard in the 80s from the Democrats.
I mean, he is a kind of a liberal guy. But like that's what I'm. Of course, we don't know, but I would say that whatever he said, and I wasn't paying attention too much of what he said about the guns, but I did know that he kind of mentioned, well, maybe we could. I know he was going to raise. He suggested raising the purchasing. Raising the age limit to purchase guns, and then getting rid of the bump stops or whatever.
Okay.
And then that was kind of like throwing some bones to the media to kind of maybe he's because they're ready to call anybody who is wants to protect the Second Amendment. They're ready to call them Nazis and segregationists and racists.
Well, I disagree with calling all gun owners those things, but you have to admit the Venn diagram
there
has
are
a
some
nice,
of those
healthy overlap. there is definitely some. I'm not saying it's correlation or causation, but there is correlation there.
By the way, did you listen to Marco Rubio's little comeback on?
Absolutely not.
I could care less what Marco Rubio has to say.
Absolutely not.
Hey, listen,
what did he say?
I thought Marco Rubio
sure.
Came back really good.
Tell us about it.
Well,
wait. Wait. Are you talking about the town hall he did?
No, I'm talking about he was rebutting. I guess it was it's some kind of a Senate hearing about guns.
Was he rebutting an 18-year-old? Because that's not a good look.
No. He was talking about calling the Democrats to the floor about coming out and saying that people. Oh, I guess the Democrats were calling people that were for the Second Amendment. They were Nazis and likening them to segregationists.
Wow.
Who said this?
I don't know. It must have been
Who
some
called them segregationists and Nazis?
Some Democrats did. And so
Okay.
so Marco Rubio got up and said, what are you talking about? You're the party that was for segregationists. And if you're going to start, if these are the way you're going to carry on these discussions, that this is no discussion at all. You're just name calling and being disrespectful and not causing to have any communication. You're just you're the party that was against the civil rights. Anyway, it was kind of
a couple. We can't go on. With
we're
this.
not going down this road.
We cannot keep on with this equating the modern day Democrats with the segregationist, racist Democrats,
absurd.
because all of those people transferred over to the Republicans during the Southern strategy. Everyone knows it. It's not. It is no longer possible to say.
Wait a minute.
All
Gore
those
didn't
people
transfer over to the Republicans.
No, all the segregationist racists transferred over to the Republican Party during during that era of the Southern
civil rights,
like Nixon and Reagan, like
during the Reagan
majority stuff. They made a push for the
Like
South.
That's when the South, because the South is red now, right? Everyone knows that.
Yes.
And the time that happened, all of the people who were racist Democrats went over to the Republican Party when the Republicans started implementing this policy of like what they call racist dog whistles.
Oh, I don't believe that.
It's true. Why is the South deeply red now?
is because the South now is the conscience of America.
Okay, fine, but whatever you want to say,
The South. Whoa. What?
whatever you want to say,
The
all the
South
people
is
who
the
used to be
conscience?
wait.
What are you
No matter
saying?
wait. No matter what you want to say about why, all of the people who used to be Democratic segregationists
can I-
are
But
now
they're not the same
Republicans.
people.
Stop. I can end this conversation right now.
Go ahead.
Strom Thurmond, who is that? The
Strom
face
Thurmond.
of segregationist movement. Okay,
Perfect.
he was a Democrat. Absolutely was a Democrat in the 50s. Guess what? 1964, right in the that was a Nixon possibly, became a Republican.
Yes.
and continued to be a segregationist.
Yes.
Like it is clear.
Why is
the
why
switch that's
why
happening
why,
here.
why was why
Strong
was
Thurmond?
Why is Roy
Strom
Moore
Thurmond.
not a Democrat?
He would have been a Democrat
Yes,
if he was.
He's
you
a
know, he probably
Republican
was a Democrat
now.
as a young man.
He would have been a Republican. He probably was, or
Yes.
he would have been a Republican back or a Democrat back in the day. Now he's a Republican. That's. I mean, it's not. I mean, there. You know that people transferred in mass in the South from
it was a voting
Democrats.
block, and they're not all racist. It's not a race. It's not
No.
like a 100% racist
No.
block of people. But like there
It's
is
a culture.
southern.
I
there is
would say
block.
it's a cultural
Well, I
block.
mean, it's been a
transferred
whole
over.
generation. It's not
People
the same people that
people
changed.
transfer
Maybe Strong
culture.
Thurmond did.
Hey,
but-
Dad. Unlike the Moore family, people transfer their culture to their siblings. And their politics to their siblings.
Yeah,
Not to their
like the
siblings, to their
Moore.
offspring.
Good luck with your kids.
Right. Yeah. Tim's kids are going to be
thinking about-
androids.
yeah.
No, but anyway,
They'd be
I'm
half-
sorry to take
I'm
us down
sorry.
that rabbit trail. That was
Yeah. We've done that 3-4 times
Okay.
now.
No, this is always an ongoing thing that we could never get the end of addressing, because it's a canard that always happens where it's like you're the party of segregation, but it's like, oh my goodness, who was like
Yeah.
fighting like segregation in like what like
I agree with you until you start seeing Nazis and Nazi groups
Like-
becoming
like,
politically active.
Yeah. I mean, it's like so like Jesse Jackson was like yeah, because I like these segregationist policies. Like he's forming the Rainbow Coalition because he likes the segregationist policies of the Democrats. It's like, okay, all right, if you would believe that, okay.
Probably a more Trump thing to talk about would be this thing going on with Jeff Sessions doing a lawsuit against California, since I live in California.
But
Have
first,
you guys heard about that?
No.
Yeah, I did. But first, I want to hear about your take on the Trump talking smack to Sessions on Twitter. What do you make of that, Dan?
Ooh, I didn't see that.
What did Trump say to
Trump
Sessions?
said. Let's see what Trump
Look
said.
it up because I don't know. Trump said something on Twitter.
Directly about Sessions.
I know,
Really?
it was a joke.
Telling him to wake up and get on with his job, kind of a thing, or
Why wouldn't Sessions be a Democrat then?
He was at some point. Yeah, Sessions is a racist.
I thought I saw something that Trump was backing Sessions on his lawsuit with California. I heard that's last thing I heard.
What is he going after California about? What's the lawsuit of California? Oh wait, it has to do with immigration, doesn't it?
It's a sanctuary thing.
Ah. Okay, so tell us about this. Tell us about this lawsuit.
Well, if anything, I don't know. I think Trump's kind of been. Sessions has been kind of real slow at moving and seems to always recluse himself and it seems to be kind of a. What? Recuse.
He recused himself from the Russia thing.
Yeah, and he recuses himself from a lot of things. But
what else does he recuse himself from?
I don't know. Maybe he was. I don't know. But anyway, so he seems to be kind of. I know that he started going after that marijuana thing, which was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I mean, I think I mean I don't know what you guys think, but I think like this latest thing with this Oakland, that's even hitting more closer to home. She alerted these illegal, and they were criminals.
What do you mean she? Who's she?
The mayor of Oakland.
Oh, okay, the mayor of Oakland.
She,
Libby or something? It's Libby.
Yeah,
I met her once. Yeah.
You met her.
Yeah.
And she alerted these illegal, and from what I understand, they were criminals. They were people that the ICE was looking for to arrest them, and she notified them and told them, well, the police are looking for you. Here they're coming, so they gave them a chance to kind of get away.
Okay.
And they call that obstruction of justice, and there's a lawsuit.
Okay.
Really? Did she get arrested?
Yeah.
She got arrested?
Oh, no. She didn't get arrested.
Oh.
She should, I believe.
She should. So I guess
I
one
mean,
thing, how do you? I guess what's weird to me is like your police state vibes are so strong, Dad, for such a libertarian person. Like you're so into this federal agency.
No, hey, listen, I'm just reporting on the news. I didn't make this up. I'm not sitting behind the desk saying this is where this country should go.
You are so excited about it, though, Dad. You're so excited about a federal agency going into a municipal police station and trying to arrest people.
What about states' rights? What about states' rights?
I think the people that I guess I feel sorry for these police officers, because they already are risking their life to go do the service that they're doing, and then now they're being put on they're how do I put this? they're getting their lives more at risk by people, the officials not cooperating and a warning.
How does that put their lives more at risk?
Well, it's just
How does being
because
said,
they're
no, we're
trying
not going
to
to turn them over.
They're trying to
Put them more
arrest
at
these people by surprise.
Well, if she had them, they were arrested already. Why would
Yes.
she? Why would the mayor have these prisoners, or why would the mayors have the criminals if they
Because
were?
this is what they
were they employees
believe
of
in.
hers?
This
No,
is
no.
what
Were they just hanging out at her house? What? How did she?
No. They were probably in.
They were arrested. Probably they were prisoners.
They were maybe arrested. Maybe they were being detained.
So they were in the
maybe-
custody of the.
Maybe they were in
municipal
custody.
government.
I don't know.
Okay.
So you have this
And
you have this big federal bureaucratized central government trying to come in, tell an upstanding local state what to do, and they're going to put up a fight.
Throw them in jail if they don't comply. Yeah, like this is the FBI guy with the suit who doesn't
Comes
know what
in.
he's talking about.
Oh, the feds are going to send the feds in.
Well,
I just for somebody who
I
So-
I don't want to seem like I come down on the states' rights side, because I don't believe in states' rights, but like.
no, I mean, I think it's just going to cut. It's then Governor Brown calls. I mean, it's a political charged thing, is what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with illegals and criminals, and it's just that's the point of.
I mean, it definitely does have to do with. It does have to do with people who don't have documents and a government agency that's definitely going after them.
Yeah, but I mean, this is sort of the tip of the spear of where they're going to cause the friction and where they're going to divide on, and which the two sides are going to take their stand, and this is the battlefield. That
I hear that. Yeah, and we kind of have to. It's like we're a little bit slaves to that. Like we kind of like I heard it said somewhere that like the media can't tell you what to think, but it can tell you what to think about. And it's kind of like that's sort of what's happening. It's like this is like, but it's not really the media. This is what the government is doing. So we have to think about this.
Yeah.
These are powers
we're all told
greater
very
than
different
us.
things.
are doing a thing, and we kind of have to like we're forced to take a position on it, or at least try to square it with reality.
I get outraged at what ICE is doing right now. I have a lot of outrage towards like I'm really uncomfortable with the way ICE is acting, and I think ICE is being really belligerent right now. Like, you know, I hear reports, and again, they're from pretty liberal sources and stuff, but they are reported, and generally you can like go to the original story, you know what I mean, and like verify and like see that it's an actual reported story that has like real people and stuff attached to it. But like of just people who like business owners who are just being rounded up, you know what I mean?
I don't think
lots
there's
of times without any
business
cause.
owners being rounded up.
Yeah, like I remember hearing a story about a guy who owned a pizza shop or whatever, and he was like,
I don't think that
he was
there's
rounded
any.
up
I don't think
for
that there's
no-
any other like government agent. Maybe I'm not missing something, but is there any other government agency that's like that's only there tasked at like going after, like people who like aren't like doing
These are the
anything
people-
actively wrong, really,
Yeah.
or like
this is going to be like when a Democrat, like someone's going to take power, like this is like a, I feel like I see them as like an internal police, right? They're like whenever Hitler takes power in U.S., the Hitler equivalent, he's going to use these guys to be the like the SS, you know what I mean?
it seems like it to
ICE.
me too. It's like other crimes like along the lines of not having the proper paperwork, you know? It's like
Yeah.
Well, I guess the Republicans use ICE. The Democrats use the what's that? The firearms and tobacco. What,
ATF.
What are they? What does the Democrats
ATF
use
still
this
exist?
for? Oh, you mean like that? That was oh, you're right. That was the siege on that one. What was it
Waco.
called? On Waco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Waco, and they were the ones that got the kid
seems-
Elian Gonzalez and sent him back to
Oh,
Cuba.
right.
Clinton
That seems very
sent
similar.
sent the
yeah.
ATF.
What is
Yeah.
the why was the that's such a weird
That's crazy. I didn't think
tobacco
about that. He did.
firearms?
That's
That's
what it is.
such a weird agency.
Such a
Who
random
are they?
jurisdiction,
Like,
yeah.
what are they?
don't
Why
think
are
it
they
still
like
exists. Does
like
it
the
still
whole
exist?
that whole like raid on what was it called? What was the raid
Waco.
on Waco? Yeah, Branch
Waco.
Davidians. Like, what in the world happened there?
And it's another one of those situations where they're like, how much better would the whole situation have resolved if everyone had just done nothing?
Why can't the
You know
Branch
what I mean?
Davidians
Like-
just have their weird thing and just do their
Yeah.
thing?
Like-
why is it
like,
a big
why
deal?
does there need to be a? Why does
Just
there
leave
need to
those
be-
weird people alone.
Yeah, just like why does there need to be a confrontation about it? Because of course something's going to go wrong, and like you can't like stop that. Like, that's of course it's going to like once they dig in, of course it's going to end terribly. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like when you're sitting there with a bunch of guns pointed at each other, like. How do you think this is going to end? Someone's going to get shot, like, or die. You know, people will die in this conflict.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the Ruby Ridge thing was pretty crappy
Oh
too.
yeah.
That was ATF.
Yeah, or like it feels like it almost feels like the central government of the United States for the longest time is mostly worried about people trying to do separate things, like branch off. And like, you know what I mean? Trying to, like, if you think about the Black Panthers, or you think about, it's like anyone who's like off trying to do something else, they're like, no. You're not doing anything else. We're doing this.
Yeah.
We're doing America here. This is America. We do America
to
here.
say. You do have to admit though that this thing with ICE is a little different. It's not. They're not going. Supposedly, they're not going after American citizens. They're trying to do something a little different.
I could
But
give.
they're people who are
we have to
indistinguishable.
get this
They're
other
going
thing
after-
out of the way too. I could give a crap about someone's citizenship. I could
Yeah.
give a crap. Like if it's
Well,
a
I'm
human
sorry to hear
being,
that.
who cares? It's a human
Yeah.
being. It's God's people. I could give a crap about their
and what's more,
citizenship
they're, like,
documentation.
There's zero
Well-
identifiable difference between like there's no
like
these are a lot of these people are people who have lived in this community for so long, like they are just
Yeah.
like they are as
I
American
will take
as anyone
someone's
else.
squatters' rights over their actual
Yeah.
involvement in the community is real. Their paperwork is unreal. That's just a formality.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what
I
do you
agree.
think about like some of these, like what's that? These Mexican gangs that
What about white
not
people
good.
gangs?
Yeah.
Well, who's going to
Yeah.
go after them?
Who's going to go after
The
white
police.
people gangs?
Well,
The
that's
normal
who they
law
are.
Who's going to go after the
agencies.
corporations? Who's going to go after
But that-
people polluting the rivers? And
Yeah.
who's going to go
That's
after
the community's
like
job.
the Wall
That-
Street?
that's-
Who's going to go after
So do you think the
Wall
local
Street?
Do you think the lolocal police like aren't dealing?
Who's going to go after the central bank?
Yeah,
The Fed. Who's
Seriously.
going to go after the Fed?
there, you lost me for a little bit, but I think we're on the same. We're kind of,
Okay.
No, I mean somebody has to take care of these things.
I mean,
I don't
yes, you
understand.
take care of it.
You cannot have a country with open borders.
No, I'm not saying
Yes, you
open
can.
borders. No. I'm saying, look. You can take care of this
That's
with
an
social
absurd
workers.
statement. For the record.
Okay, to let Tim say his thing. Maybe.
Oh no, it's fine. I just wanted to point out that's an absurd thing to say.
What's that?
Carry
What's
on.
an absurd thing?
that this border security is just like absolutely integral to society. Like there's like that is not a critical element of any culture or society.
Oh, come on, Tim, that's not true.
Strict
You
lines
know that-
between
that-
societies.
You went to Panama and you went to Philippines. Didn't you have to go through?
See, okay,
immigration?
this is what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
We're getting into this thing where it's like, are you for or against like any kind of immigration protection? Obviously, we want to have immigration protection. You need to go through someone to check you out. Yes, of
Yes.
course.
Okay, we agree.
Of course, but like a paramilitary organization running within the United States,
like dedicated
cracking
to
down on
enforcing-
But
people.
what about the people that don't do that, Greg? What about the people that jump the fence or
They still
swim the
continue to
river?
exist, Dad. They still exist, Dad. They will
Dad,
No,
Dad,
but-
Dad,
exist
Dad.
when they
No,
do
no,
that.
no. My point is that okay. My point is not that like, oh yeah, you let people run roughshod. My point is that like, and we both understand this. It's a complicated historical thing that's got us into this situation. And
Yeah.
and my idea is like let's try to approach it with a little more wisdom than just like a sort of a hard line, like unrealistic, like humanitarian, like just super legalistic,
Well,
not
it's-
looking
it's
at
also-
reality.
No,
kind of
I
like
totally agree.
approach.
Well, it's also a resource allocation issue. Like this is not like immigration is not the main ail of our society. The amount of effort being put into immigration efforts is hurting the economy, not helping the economy, and is not doing anything really beneficial to our, except for employing a bunch of ICE officers maybe, but like it's not really adding any value. So why are we spending these resources on this enforcement that is pretty meaningless and isn't really providing any value, I think, to our society? So I think
yeah.
that's
Well,
that's
Tim,
how
I mean,
feel about it.
I could ask the question as well. Okay, well, why is the state of California? Why is Governor Brown? Why is he allocating so many resources to fight this?
Because they're in his community.
They're human
He's representing
beings
his community.
in his community.
No, he doesn't represent. He does not represent illegals.
He represents that community. He represents
He
their
represents
friends.
Californians, Americans
But he
that are in
represents their friends and their family who are also voters and who are also participants in our society. Like just because these people are disenfranchised does not give them any your argument is like self-defeating because you're saying like you can't have any rights. You don't exist unless you have legal status, and like these people aren't part of any constituency. They're part of the society. They have friends. They have a community. They work. They pay taxes. You know what I mean? Like these are not. Like I don't understand.
Okay, but I think the conversation is
frame
kind
it.
of going to this more broader kind of thing of these different things, and whereas this thing that's happening with these sanctuary cities, it's not for just the average your general Jose that
No, it doesn't.
These are people that are known criminals that have murdered, have raped.
No,
I don't think so.
They're rounding
I
up
don't buy it.
any illegal. They are rounding up
I
any
don't buy it.
illegal with priority
No,
to those people, but they are not targeting anyone. They're
It was
rolling
like
up
that
illegals
guy,
if they
the
can.
guy that was in San Francisco that shot that and killed that girl.
Yes, people die lots of times. There are lots of
Yeah.
sociopaths.
How many people died that day
A
in
white
cars?
American shot up a school. Like, what does that prove about that ethnic group or that
Well, I mean, I don't know.
economic group?
It seems like if you go start comparing apples with oranges, and they all seem to be, they're all round, so they all must be the same. That just doesn't hold because we're talking about a specific issue.
We are talking about like you're saying that like illegals. So but I feel like your argument.
I'm saying illegal criminals that have
you are specifically against all illegals. But everyone who is illegal has committed a crime and is in that group. Like that is your Venn diagram has a complete overlap here. You're saying because you're here illegally, you've broken a law. Because you've broken a law, you're a criminal. Like I don't feel like there's any escape from that, right? Does that make sense or?
Yeah, but
that's what it feels like.
But I think we're kind of I think we're kind of a little beyond that because there's so many of those and it's been going on for so long. I don't. That's another issue in itself. But we're talking about people like I just heard recently there was another thing. I think it was in Maryland or somewhere where some person was driving drunk without a license and smashed into a truck and killed the driver, and then it turned out that when they arrested the person that he was illegal, and so they couldn't detain him.
Why is that relevant to the case?
They couldn't detain him. They let him go.
But Dad, do you know why they can't detain them?
No.
Because if they detain them, ICE will grab them. It is a like they are, But Dad, look at this. No. You.
Well, what happens if you're driving drunk and you crash into a
they
car
cause
and kill
the
somebody?
problem. They are inserting themselves. There is a stable ecosystem. There are police. They enforce rules. They enact punishment and they deal with the situation as appropriate for the community. And this functions very well. And then the ICE has inserted themselves, saying anyone who happens to have this box checked, which is they're not here legally, we arrest them immediately. And so they're inserting themselves in this situation, causing the problem. And now the local communities are pissing off their own constituents because members of their community are being arrested by ICE because this guy, because he was jaywalking and he is illegal. Like, I think that's the same. Yeah. You can't separate out special cases. It's a protest of the whole policy.
I think maybe like one of the things that's going on is that like these politicians in California, they have a constituency that they're trying to satisfy. They're trying to satisfy people in California who want California to be the sanctuary city. So they have these two things, and then they also they people want two things. They want to keep the streets safe of drunk drivers and prosecute drunk drivers like in a good way. And they also want to be a sanctuary city. And these people represent all the people of California who want it to be a sanctuary state or whatever they want, or whatever city it is to be a sanctuary city. So now they're in an impossible situation. And things like this happen. These things like what you're talking about are weird anomalies of people wanting two seemingly contradictory things from their.
Yeah. No, I know. I understand. And
I agree with you that there's a political element to them wanting to like make a show of the whole sanctuary city because all the people in their constituency love it and go for it. That's where you live. It's where you chose to live. You can move to Arkansas. we hate that over here. You'll find lots of people who agree with you here. So it's
okay, well, is your next door in the house available for us? We can
next door, maybe not. Maybe.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, the Passion. Praise the Lord, the Passion. Praise the Lord, the Passion. We'll all stay free.
I want to hear how Guatemala went.
Yeah, Guatemala was a blast. Yeah.
You've been there, right, Dad?
No, I've never been to Guatemala, but my best friend in school was from Guatemala.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So there's a lot of fun, beautiful things about it, and there's a lot of really sad things about it too.
Yeah.
You know who Guatemala got their independence from?
Who? No, I don't know.
Mexico.
Oh, nice. Okay.
When
was that?
It was at the same time that Texas got their independence.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What that was like the 1900s or something?
Well, that was probably 18 something.
Okay.
Early 1800s.
Early 1800s.
When the Alamo, during the Alamo, and the Mexican had this president just everybody wanted to break away from him.
Okay.
And so while Texas declared independence, I guess so did Guatemala and Honduras and a whole bunch of other states down there. It's kind of mysterious history. Not too many people seem to really know about it.
Well, it's just like quiet. You know what I mean? Like it's just like no one. It's like
maybe nobody cares.
Didn't Mexico have a war of independence?
Yeah.
Who were they in?
Multiple.
They were having an independence from Spain.
One's from us.
One's from Spain.
Okay, from Spain. Yeah.
One's from Spain and one's from France.
Yeah.
And no, they never fought a war against. I mean, for independence about us. I think that's still going.
Wasn't Cinco de Mayo about U.S. attacking Mexico?
No, that was the French.
Was it the French? Okay, I thought one of those holidays was an attack the Americans made on. I could be wrong, but America did invade Mexico once.
Yes, Mexico. America
United
did.
States.
United States did. Yes.
I thought
when was that? When did we invade Mexico? Or when? Yeah, when did the United States invade Mexico?
I don't know the dates, but
that's like when we acquired California. Coincidentally,
was that what that was?
Yeah,
I think maybe a little after that, or I don't know.
It had something to do with Pancho Villa, maybe, or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh. Like the Spanish government was encouraging people attacking U.S. and
that's one of the stories of me being an American kid growing up in Mexico City, was that every year the school we'd have to go make this pilgrimage down to this. There was these 5 hero children that fought this war in Chapultepec Park. And of course, I never knew who they were fighting against, but we would always go down and do homage and lay wreaths and stuff like that. And I remember once when I think it was in junior high, all of a sudden, hey, wait a minute, they were fighting gringos.
Yeah, that's the story.
Why am I doing this?
It was like the 4 cadets or whatever.
Did you?
Yeah, the 5 cadets. The 5 hero cadets.
Did you always like retain?
Who jumped to their death.
Did you?
For some reason,
Did you always retain like a feeling of connection to the United States, no matter when, like at any point in your childhood? Did you always sort of feel like you were in a distant land, or like that you were in a place that was like.
How'd you identify?
Yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
No, you're a child in Mexico and you were born there, but you knowing that you're part of this other, more advanced, in a lot of ways more advanced society.
Well, you're economically better off.
Yeah.
You're clearly like American wealth.
Yeah. So you hung out. I mean, did you feel like a stranger in a strange land?
You had made your wealth was on a different scale than anyone else in.
Yeah. No.
Area.
I guess because you kind of grew up in it, you didn't really know. I didn't really know the difference. But I mean, no. I just felt that was. I didn't really feel. Actually, I didn't feel odd at all. It wasn't until I was 16 and came to live when I went to school in Virginia for the first time in my life, then that was when I sort of felt like weird, like wow, here I'm like a foreigner, someone, expat that's returning back to his country that I never knew.
Right, it was a different place. It was totally.
Were you primarily Spanish speaking at any point in time?
Were you bilingual? We
but your primary language is English still.
English, yeah, I spoke English at home, and most of my friends we spoke English, but I had some Mexican friends too, and we would speak Spanish and we kind of would mix it up,
Yeah.
Spanglish.
Yeah.
But I never felt, like I say, I think the only time that I really felt odd about it was that one time when I sort of came to realization that we were going down to and I remember, it's funny how I remember it. We were going down there and we were going to lay the wreath and we're going to do the pilgrimage to these things, and I never really asked myself or thought about it, but I was wondering, like, okay, who were they fighting? Who killed them?
Right.
And then it was those gringos, you know. And they let me. I'm like, well, that's weird. But,
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. What was it like going to military school? That's
Did you choose to go to the United
it
States?
sounds like that was.
No, I didn't choose that. That was a choice that was made for me.
Who was it? Who made the
My
choice?
well behavior.
Who made the choice?
I think it was my dad.
Yeah. What was the
My dad went there.
What was the
I guess it
final
worked
straw?
for him. We almost sent Greg.
I know. I can't remember what my final straw
Yeah.
was. I can't remember exactly why you almost sent me.
I remember that was very seriously discussed. In my memory, it was very seriously discussed.
But I'm wondering if
Yeah, it
you
was.
remember the final straw that you're like, that's it. You're going to military school.
Was it a punishment?
No, I think it was kind of
I have a hard time believing it's not a punishment. There's a
Well, I
little bit of
mean-
punishment.
you know, put it this way, there was few choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Few
It
choices.
came down to very few choices.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so I had to go to school somewhere,
Okay.
Oh no.
right?
Yeah, that's true. But you were in high school,
And say,
though.
well, this is where you're going.
But it was in
What
the middle
happened
of your
to the
high
school
school
options?
career, though.
I know.
How old? What year were you?
Is a sophomore.
So okay,
Okay.
so you had done So I mean, one of the choices would
No,
be
no. It was the end. It was the end of my sophomore year. So I went for military school. I went for
Okay.
junior and senior year.
So like one of the
Okay.
choices would have been just keep going to the school you were going to, which was I'm guessing it was an English school. And
I guess maybe I never told you why I couldn't go to the school.
do you not want to say it on the internet?
Yeah, tell us the story so we can put it on the internet.
You can decline to tell the story for the internet. We could turn the mics off.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm not running for president or any political.
Not yet.
Of course, if I ran for some political candidate, it would all come out, wouldn't it?
Yes,
Oh
it's
yeah,
true.
this podcast
That's true.
would be deadly to your career, Dad.
The Oppo team on the other side of it. So
I
wait,
guess
we
there
didn't
was
get an
the-
answer. We're just going to let it
Well,
go.
Yeah, are you-
okay,
are you declining or are
so,
you,
no. So the truth was that I got expelled from school.
Okay.
What'd you
okay.
do, Dad?
I think
That
happened to
I was- I
Tim
was
too, right?
accused
Tim
of-
got
You too,
expelled.
Dad.
I was
You both got
accused.
expelled.
It's a
I
proud
was
more tradition.
accused of smoking marijuana.
There's another Proudmore tradition.
You said accused. There it is. There it is. Another round word.
Well, they could never prove it.
Oh, okay.
Dad, that's what I got expelled for.
I know.
Exact same
Wow.
thing.
Wow.
And so that was that.
Decades apart. What? How did you? First of all, were you guilty, as charged?
Yeah.
They just couldn't prove
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay. And then but they couldn't
Wow.
prove it.
Why
so
did
you
they
still
expel
That doesn't
you?
make sense.
Wow.
They couldn't
What
prove it.
year was this? Well, you got expelled.
This
in like
was
the
in
90s, or-
1960, 67,
I think these are
68.
This is just like a product of its time. This is kind of like when you watch
Maybe.
when you watch an old Elizabeth like a Jane Austen novel made into a movie, and you're like, oh, these two people, they want to be together. Why can't they be together? It's just because of the stupid times, like, you know what I mean? Because of the
And
weird.
one of them gets whisked away
the
to
weird-
like boarding school, like Dad, just disappears
Like
one day.
I don't think that
And,
that either of your stories would like pertain today. Like I don't think people are getting expelled
Yeah.
for that.
Was this
No.
was this like weed panic kind of thing? Was this one of those like reefer madness kind of scenarios where like everyone freaked out, but like, I mean, so you
Well,
smoked
what
pot
this
then,
is what
Dad.
happened.
It's not
So-
that
so-
big of a. Okay.
So what happened was that there a whole bunch of my friends, we went and we bought went someplace in Mexico and bought some marijuana. And this one friend of mine,
Well, did you do this? This is the first time you did this, or is
Oh,
this
no,
like a
no,
regular?
no.
This is a regular
it
occurrence.
was a regular occurrence, and
Okay.
and so then we dropped off my friend
Yeah.
at his house, and he was pretty seriously stoned.
Okay.
And he walked in to his parents, and his parents caught him.
Wow.
And,
Okay,
And,
yep.
and his parents
Did
were,
he get expelled?
Takes one to
His
know
par-
one, I'd say, to
his
his
parents were very influential people in the community and the
no.
school. And actually, I never saw that
Were you
friend
the fall
again.
guy?
Well, they were able to get this confession out of my friend, of all the people that
poor
he
kid.
knew that had experimented with marijuana. And so I never saw him again. I didn't see him till probably about 10 years ago.
Wow.
But anyway, so
And is he fine? Is he okay?
yeah, he's like works for NBC, does sport news. Something.
So smoking pot didn't ruin him for life.
and so anyway, so these parents went to the school and they submitted the names, and a whole bunch of people got kicked out.
But they're just like
It was-
on the accusation, on the
just
mere
on an
accusation. That's insanity.
Yeah, that's how it worked.
Next thing you know, you're
Wow.
like in military school in Virginia, in West Virginia.
In
Wow.
Virginia.
So were people like really paranoid about marijuana then? Like was this like a thing where everyone was afraid that you were like this was like
I
for a
think
period
it
of time
was-
people were like
I think it was
paranoid
kind
about
of
it,
early
I guess, or-
in that kind of time. I think that there were later on people got more. There was more, or a lot of other people were trying it too. But I think it was kind of a novelty, and I don't know. Maybe the school wanted to put an end to it. I don't know.
Wow.
Were you like so this was 60 when? 60
68.
what? 68.
Yeah.
That's so you're like at the beginning of the counterculture era, right? Like that's
Probably very at the very beginning.
and then you went to how was military school? Was that like
Well, military school was kind of was hard, but I think looking back at it, it kind of really helped me because I don't know the life I would have lived if I just would have continued my ways. But,
do you really think? Do you really?
You would have turned out like
military school,
Tim.
The military school. I mean, I had 2 years of military
Hey,
school.
I'm a respectable grown up.
You might have been an
I
accountant. Yeah, kept going down.
I know. Horror
I
of
graduated.
horrors.
Sorry, yeah,
And I was, I think I weighed, I was like 160 pounds. I was buffed and healthy, and I was graduated from high school, and was, so I think that proved to be kind of saving grace kind of in my life. I think.
His benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a good use of those years.
I wonder if I would have been buffed.
Yeah.
Buffed and
But
healthy.
not to say that it was easy. It was very hard. It was the
Yeah.
toughest thing, and you probably can remember, being in high school and having knowing everybody and all your friends, and you can just imagine being taken away
Oh
and
yeah.
put into another school where you don't know nobody. You
So
don't know you're
rough.
nobody.
And you don't even know like did you spend all your time on campus when you got off campus? Was it? Like a different
There was
world?
you had to stay on campus the whole time.
Did you have kind of a mystique though, because we were from Mexico? And you had a kind of a shady background, like the
No.
circumstances.
It was
that
an
brought
all
you here
boys
were-
school, wasn't it?
No, because there was a lot of kids that were in the same shoes, kind of.
Yeah. Was there an element of that? Yeah, and there were no women, so you're like,
No, there was
High school-
All dudes.
whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so.
Is that like
All
safer or
dudes
more
doing
dangerous?
push-ups.
I can't tell.
No, I mean, just think of it. We just basically, like I'd go to school, and then after school, I'd go running every day, and then go swimming, and then weightlifting,
Dang.
and then have dinner, and then just repeat
Dang.
the whole thing again the next day.
Wow.
And eventually I made some friends, and the second year was a lot better.
Did
I'm
you
sure.
ever? Was that the only time that you worked out regularly like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like hard to do that on your own. I've been trying to get a gym regimen going, and it's like, man.
Especially working in your house, you
The
didn't get
only-
out of your
the
house.
only
You
time-
should like block it off.
The only time that I've
do
been
it.
able to like really lose weight, it reminds me of what you were talking about a little bit. Instead of being in military school, I had a very mean wife, and she was very vocal about my body weight, and that
gosh,
kept
Greg.
me on point. So
So
I've
you
been
working
trying
out a lot and stuff?
Oh yeah, that was when I was
okay.
thin. Remember, and
Okay.
it was. But I've been trying to see like, can I make a workout regimen that's based on love, self love, and not like fear and anger. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I like
hard
to go
when you
for
have your.
runs.
It's hard when you have your
Yeah.
own business and you're working and you got so many things going to
Yeah.
break away and do that. I mean, I can't. I try to break away just to go take a walk.
Well,
It's
you're gonna
hard.
have to do some preparation for your
Yeah.
Alaska trip coming up.
Well, that's all going to take place on a boat.
Oh, okay. You're cool then.
And no
You're good
preparation
then.
at all.
You can't do anything. If the boat sinks, you're done for. You can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
okay.
That's interesting.